education. So we're getting into the elections, and we want a wonderful atmosphere to vote and to have our schools intact. We don't want any confusion. We want everything to be smooth so that our children will continue going to school and become the leaders of this country. And so our conversation this morning is going to be looking at how to maintain the peace and stability we have, putting together this information and knowledge that we have to come together as a people and make sure that the information we receive are put to use by enforcing peace and making sure that we have stability so that our children will continue going to school. We watch the wars around our borders, and we have seen how that affected our students and academically, especially our women and some of our young guys who will go out there and be on the street, and our girls that will have to resort to prostitution and all that. And we want to avoid all these things. And so as a people this morning, we want to talk about it and see how best we can maintain the peace that we have in this country, because its effect on education is so paramount, and it's important that we maintain that peace we have in this country so that education can go on. Thank you very much, and be reminded that this program is proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education. And this morning, I believe that you are also ready to make sure that you play a role by calling us and also contributing to our conversation this morning. Last week, we talked about branding, and I want to say good morning to you, Madam Emma, for coming through last week and teaching us all the lessons that we needed to learn. God bless you so much. So stay tuned, and I believe that you're going to be a blessing. God bless you. Good morning once again. Good morning to you, Honorable Dr. Yao Seiduchum, Minister for Education.
Me up this morning.
Wherever you are, God bless you.
You give me strength so I can make it through the day.
I want to remind you we are live on Whole FM 92.5
when I am born,
and also on Word Radio GH page. You can get us on our YouTube page at Word Radio GH.
When I'm weak, you call.
And I want you to go on Facebook
When I am poor, you say
and just watch the footages that we're showing you.
how you do it, but I believe you are able. You're more than able, also able. Lord, I believe. Yes, you are able. You are able. More than able, also able. So able. Lord, I believe. Say you are
So on October 16, 2024, marked the grand finale of the STEM Innovation 2024. What an incredible journey it has been. The Minister for Education had the honor of witnessing firsthand the brilliance and ingenuity
in the mighty name
of our young innovators from every corner of the country. He said, I was deeply honored to receive an award from the STEM Innovation team and the pleasure of engaging with the competitors and capturing memories with some truly exceptional students. These are a groundbreaking project in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics presented by these students have demonstrated that Ghana's future is not only bright but filled with limitless potential. So to all participants from the zonal competitions to the final day and to our witness, you have already made a lasting impact. And he said that he is impressed and proud of each and every one of you. A heartfelt thanks to all the sponsors, teachers, free SHS regional coordinators, and chiefs who joined in the celebration. Special thanks to the entire STEM Innovation team for making this event possible. Together, we are reshaping Ghana's future, one innovation at a time. The minister therefore congratulated the winners as Obuasi Senior High Technical School, saying STEM innovation is truly solving tomorrow's problems today.
Also able, Lord, I believe that.
So Obuasi Senior High Technical School won the STEM Innovation Award 2024.
Yes, sir. More than
and that's beautiful.
Also and I receive it. Lord, I believe. Say you are able. I believe it. More than.
So our conversation this morning is centered on peace and stability. That's very important when it comes to education.
You are able. Lord, I believe. Also able. Lord, I
believe. The difference is obvious. When we were taking, now you have come to this school, you have seen that we are writing exam and not even one person is going home. We would have had teachers with canes driving students who haven't paid their fees away. It was so disheartening knowing that this child's parents don't have the money, but you also have to collect the money to feed them. And so students were prevented from writing exams, we were caning them, their parents haven't paid the fees. Why do you the child? It was with difficulty. But if you don't take the fees and auditors come, they will say you don't have any mechanism down for collecting public money. We can pick any call, anytime, because we don't owe. Creditors are not chasing us for their money. Suppliers are not chasing us. We are also not chasing the students for money. And it is heartwarming to be ahead under the free SHS system because you can sleep. We now have more contact hours. I've been in education all my life as a worker, and I have taught as a teacher of chemistry, and I'm now a headmaster. We have far more contact hours than we used to have when it was 3 terms. Now let's talk about double track. Double track is just like it's just 2 schools in one building, and whatever contact hours the students have, we are rather using government property judiciously. Now Form 1 alone is 1,500, but for the double track, where were we going to take the students? We have been given 480 mattresses, 4 mattresses for students. We have been given 900 tables, 900 chairs. Look at the quality. It is so heartwarming. Gone are the days when people just supplied and the following year you could not find them because they are so inferior. This is qualitative chair, and we have qualitative tables. We are so proud of government. Government is doing so much. The father of the nation, the president of the nation, the free SHS by inspiration of God. Don't let anything deter you. I am saying this so passionately because, but for my father's brother, I would have been a fisherman somewhere.
You are listening to the Transformation Agenda series on education with Abraham Adu.
All right, good morning again and welcome to the Transformation Agenda series on education. So this morning we're going to begin our conversation. I'm here with Madam Gift Mensah, who is the National Coordinator for Guidance and Career Counseling, Ghana TVET Service, and Mr. Solomon Natite, who is a lecturer at Western University, Wager, and also a lecturer at the Center for Teacher Development, Ghana. Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
You are blessed and highly favored.
Yeah.
It's been a long time, but you're here.
Yes.
Wow. So how is everything? I'll begin with Mr. Nate. What is happening in town?
Let me say good morning to our listeners and everybody. For now, if you consider the era in which we are, you get to town and it's almost everything now is on the forthcoming elections. Yes, and the various predictions from various angles as to who is going to win, who is going to win. And so for this time, this is what what is dominating in town.
I mean, you are in school, so the students, what do you see? What do you hear them say?
Definitely, you have some of them go for the sitting government that the government is doing well. You have others who also say the government is not doing well. I mean,
That's the students,
you
right?
cannot satisfy everybody.
Do we have the students fully involved in politics?
Yes, I mean they are fully involved. Yes, even most of our politicians who are there today, most of them started from the various campuses. So the politics on the campuses, very, very serious one. Yes.
Wow. That's great. Madam Gifty, good morning.
Oh, hello, good morning. It's
Wow.
been a long time.
Yeah, long time.
And good morning to all our listeners.
So, what do you see in town?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, for me, it's like you sit in Trotro, you walk in the marketplaces and public places, and people are discussing politics and all that. But one thing I've realized, which I think would have to do something about, is the insults. And sometimes I wonder why most of the insults are coming from one particular party, and it is worrying. And someone can just open the mouth and say that president is so stupid. You see, it's very unbecoming, because for me, the training I've been through, it will be very difficult for me to use certain words on people, but that is how it is. And then you see people damaging people's posters and billboards. It was not like that before, and this is not the first time you are going for elections. So actually it doesn't speak well of the country, because now we are in a globalized society, so whatever happens in Ghana here is also seen somewhere. It's like, why? How is the country moving? How would somebody do this thing to somebody who has invested so much in education? And it has never happened before in our history. In Ghana, we've been in Ghana for a very long time. Some of those of us who are going to be 60 years, we've gone through all the systems, and we knew what happened. And now if you go to schools, you see that teachers are happier than before. That is my observation. Students are happier because they don't have the burden of being sacked for your registration fee and all that. But one other thing that I think ministers should also have his people to monitor is about the collection of illegal monies the head teachers and the teachers take from the student. Like, I was listening to this the head master when we entered this place, and I heard him talking about what the investment the government is doing in our schools and all that. Now teachers are even being paid for extra classes. So if you are giving extra tuition or any remedial support to students, you are paid for it. So why do you still want to collect monies from
And this payment, is it from the basic to the senior high school level?
Oh, I know of the senior high school,
School,
because
okay.
it is in TVET and it is
Okay.
in GES.
Okay.
I don't know of the basic school level. But for the basic school, what do the children need? If you teach and teach them well and they understand, you give them assignment, homework and all that. If they want any extra tuition, they can do it back at home. But you see, for the students in the secondary school, they are in a boarding school, so you cannot go back home and do any extra learning. So you have to do it on campus. And it's the teachers who are being engaged to do that, and they are paid for it. So why would you still want to collect monies from parents if the government is paying you for remedial lessons for students? And so for me, I think Ghanaians would have to change their attitude. So as the minister said one time, that we have to introduce mindset and character training in our schools. We have to do that.
Okay.
And see that in the next generation, we'll see people appreciating what the state is doing, and then they also do their part,
Okay.
not exploiting. And sometimes it's worrying. They rather exploit the poor ones. And then, if you do that to a rich person, he might go. He has the avenue to go and report. And so they do it to the poor ones who don't have any place to go and report. So they remain so bitter.
Okay.
And so that is the situation. But I think if we train,
All right. So it means that
well,
we are getting into placement season, right?
Yes.
And so I think this makes a lot of sense. There's a press release that I will read as we go. We go
yes,
along.
and to make sure that no head teacher collects money from anybody. You see, formerly, when we were even paying fees for our uniform, paying money for our uniforms and other things. When you don't have uniform, you are allowed to wear your house dress, your mufti from the house. So when the uniforms are ready, then they give it to you. Why is it that now when students get on campus, they are forced to buy uniforms?
When it's free.
When it's free, because they will tell you that the government uniform has not come. So buy the check, buy this, and it is compulsory. And it shouldn't be so, because formerly when we were even paying for our uniforms, we waited till the uniforms come and we wear our own mufti. So why can't the student wear their mufti till the government supplies come? But you force them to buy uniforms. If the person does not have money, he has to go back, call people and doing all those things, which is not good. So as we are entering into the system of enrolling students into the school, we should check these things so that the headmasters and headmistresses do not embedding parents with paying of things that the government has already supplied.
Okay, all right. So this government of Ghana announces free access to 2024-2025 SHS and TVET placement results. So ahead of the release of the 2024-2025 senior high school, that's SHS TVET placement results, the Ministry of Education is pleased to inform prospective first-year students, parents, and the general public that access to the computerized school selection and placement system CSSPS platform will now be free for checking placement results. This new measure eliminates the need for candidates to purchase PIN codes, making it easier and more accessible for students to check their placements. To check placement results, candidates are advised to follow these steps. 1. Visit the official website at www.csssps.gov.gh or www.csssps.org. That's the first thing you do. Number 2, you enter your 10-digit index number, followed by 24. That's 2024. That's the year, to indicate the year of completion. For example, if your index number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you add 24 after the index number. Then number 3, you click submit and wait for the placement result to be displayed. The ministry encourages all eligible students to take advantage of this supportive initiative to access their placement results. Signed by the PRO of the Ministry of Education, Mr. Lawyer Kwesi Kwarteng. All right, so thank you very much. Now, so we are looking at war and instability and its effect on education, but we're looking at what peace and stability does to education. Now, Mr. Nati, I want to begin with you. We want to refer to our neighboring countries. We've seen wars, and let's look at what happened to education in those countries.
Thank you very much. What I want to say is that nobody should be deceived into thinking that, once there is a war in a particular country, the school system is out of it. Just saying, wherever you go, anytime there's a conflict or there's war in a country, the educational system is seriously affected. If you take countries like South Africa, years back, they were affected. Rwanda, they were affected. And when that happens, the effect is so severe, so serious that it takes a long time to be able to come back to the what times. When there's an outbreak of war in a country, what happens is that even the facilities, let's look at Ghana, for instance, beginning from E blocks up to what we have, the current ones that we have. If there's anything war today, most of these facilities will be pulled down. Look at what happened in recently during the Russia war with Ukraine. A lot of buildings were pulled down, and I believe that these buildings included what, school buildings, not even at the basic level, even at the advanced level. All these buildings will be pulled down. Now look at the number of years it has taken us as a country to be able to get this infrastructure, and consider the money that has gone into it. And so once we get to a point where these buildings are pulled down, what it means is that it is going to take us a very long period of time to be able to come back to that level again. And when that happens, a lot of children will drop out of school. Even within the period when the war is in session, nobody can go to school. It means that even we are delaying what our learners who are supposed to go to school, because if I'm supposed to be in, let's say, year 1 or basic 1, and the situation demands that we stay in the house for a year or two, it means that I have been delayed for these 2 years, and something which we can never recover again. So there are several effects of it. Now you see that even after the war, because a lot of things have been destroyed and the schools cannot admit all the children in the country, what happens is that some of them become wayward. Yes, you find them in the streets because the system cannot absorb all of them into the school system, and you can't blame anybody for that, because a lot of facilities have been destroyed. So when that happens, it affects the country. Then you see a lot of criminal activities. It might not be immediately, but about some 5-6 years after, those children who dropped out of school because of this conflict or this war, without going to school, they hit the street. And when they hit the street, you know, the kind of things they are able to do. So once there is a war in a country, a lot of people are affected, directly, indirectly. And with the school system, the effect is so much on the school system. So it is one of the things that we have to pay attention to, irrespective of whatever we are doing, whatever we targets we want to achieve as a political parties or whatever. Because in fact, in Ghana now, you see that we have a perfect peace. But if there's going to be any rise in war or something, if you look at the political arena, that for me, I believe that is where the whole thing is going to come from. Auntie was saying, complaining about the level of insults here and there. She was saying that the minister is saying we should have character training. Look, we already have some of these things in the system. We have these children read religious and moral education. But the unfortunate part is that our kind of education is examination oriented. So we make it look as if once you get to the school, you just have to go and memorize things, go and write examination, pass, and then you go. The rest of the things we care less about it, and that is it. So if we can work on those things, fine. Yes, those, like Auntie was saying, you see that even though we have religious and moral education that is supposed to train or mold characters, we don't look at it, just because we have some of the adult community members also do it. And if you are an adult, you stand on television, you come on radio, and you rain insults at one person or the other just because your intention is that let me grasp power or whatever. I don't think you will say things, a lot of bad things about people, that going into it, you realize that people might not even have been involved in some of these things, that just because we want to destroy people's image so people will not like them, we tend to say some of these things, and it is a very bad thing. Look, the best way people learn is through imitation. One of the methods of learning is what? We have imitative learning. And so the children are watching, and as they watch, they will do whatever they are seeing the adult world do. So we shouldn't take some of these things for granted. So I would say that we should try as much as possible to get to a point where our leaders, our big men out there, will come back to themselves and get to know that this is not a matter of insult here and there, but we can we agree or agree to disagree or whatever. We can do those things. However, with the insults, I think we need to limit it.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Natite. There, Madam Mensah, Gifty Mensah. So you are a mother, and I believe that you understand what it means for a mother to lose their children. I've seen a woman pregnant 9 months. You're going to deliver. You may not come back, or the baby may not come back, and so it costs a lot. And even in education, even when it is free, there are investment that you have made. The people that call for war, call for confusion in this country, are supposed to be educated in a way. So they are not just ordinary people. Everybody behind a microphone is supposed to be of a sound mind, should understand the impact of what they do and what they say, whether they are behind the microphone or not, because they are sort of source of information. Now, when you look around, do you think that that is what we are seeing? And if that is what we are seeing or we are not seeing, what is its effect on our children? And do these people understand the consequences of the things they do, as in how it affects the peace of the country and how that will in turn affect the children that are in the country?
Thank you. You see, for me,
If you can get a bit closer
yes,
to yes.
for me, I think we would have to localize even our political system, because you see, we try to copy from those who have had democracy for a very long time, and you go to these countries and you realize that they are so disciplined, and so they don't go overboard to be insulting personality and all those things. Because I've been in America, and there was one thing that I've realized, that when you even sit in a bus and the bus stops, all those behind will wait till the person sitting in front of you gets down before they also get down. And when they are getting down, they all thank the driver. Thank you so much, thank you so much. And the driver will respond, you're welcome, you're welcome. Yes, hey, this driver will get tired. You see, they've been doing all these things. They ask for something, they say please. My granddaughter went to UK. She came back and told me that, hey grandma, as for UK, whatever, when you see a child talking to a grown-up, it's either peace or thank you. So this is what the minister was talking about. It's not about religious and moral. We've been going to church all this while. People have been sending their children to the mosques and they've been praying, and has it changed our character? No. And that is why we should put in a conscious effort to train the children, not only in the books, but observe them how to communicate to each other, teamwork, respect. All these things are very, very important. So they should be consciously put in our curriculum to train us, because the way the grown-ups behave, someone standing on a political podium calling for coup. What do you as if the person has not seen a coup situation before? And it's so surprising. And why would you even talk like that? You think the army will organize coup or overthrow this government and bring you to be their president? Somebody who has staged the coup, would he come and call you, who is standing there calling for coup? No, you might not even be part of their government. So we shouldn't be doing that. And children are copying. You go to schools, we have a system of democracy where even at the primary and JHS level, they do voting. Do you see the children insulting? They come and read their manifesto and tell you that when we come, we'll do this and that. It is a form of training children to adopt our democracy, the democracy development, how we are developing our democracy. So if at that level, students are being taught to come and tell your peers what you can do if they vote for you into power, and the students come and stand before their fellow students telling them that when I come, I'll do this, I'll make sure that the compound is clean, I'll do this and that, and they don't insult. Why should we grown-ups rather insult? And sometimes it surprises me, like, if these little children are not insulting and you start insulting, are you training them that when they also go on political platform to ask for their students' mandate, they should insult. No, but they don't even do it. We were also in school. We saw it. We are teachers. We see students vying for positions and they don't insult. And all these things have their repercussions if we don't know. Because even it affects somebody's psychological well-being. Because the person might think that, should I believe what this person is saying? See, sometimes they talk and I listen and say, am I rather the person who is thinking otherwise? Because it surprises me. I mean dream here and I say, what is going on? So these are some of the psychological effects it can have on children. That why is that when we are calling for our peers to vote for it, we don't insult, and our politicians, we are not doing it well, so they will be learning. It also affects their academic achievement. Now students in school, you see them being so happy and free because they are giving academic support in their schools. But you bring in these things and they stop and they will be thinking, why is our country like that? They don't even feel safe. And it's like they don't even think of any future opportunity. If that is how the society is going to be and there's going to be coup and war, why should I worry myself reading my notes? Then let me put a note somewhere and then prepare for what is coming. And if you look at case studies in some of the countries like Rwanda, like what my brother mentioned, and Ukraine and other places, you see that South Sudan, you see these people migrating from their countries to Ghana. If somebody tells you what happened in Liberia before they even entered into this country, you marvel. And do we want that situation in our country? A lot of them even lost their educational progression. Because you are going to school, you have to stop. You go to another country, they have a different educational system. How are you even going to fit in? These are some of the things we have to think about, because if you bring conflict and other things, it will even disrupt schooling. Look at what is happening now. People are just going on strike for no reason. How can you say that somebody is doing galamsey somewhere, so you are not going to teach? Have you contacted those in the community to ask why they are doing that? Have you given them any support as a teacher? You should even go there, do some research and bring the report. I went there and this is what I had, and it will be very useful for everybody. But you can't sit in Accra saying that I'm not going to teach because somebody is doing something elsewhere. Is that how to go about it?
And that affects the students.
Yes.
And they will also tell you that because, the student will also drink water and the water is being polluted. And so they expect that the leadership...
You see, my brother, that's for that thing. You see, I know that what they are doing is not good. We have to all come together collectively and fight it.
Okay.
Fine. That is period. But when I went to America, they also don't drink pipe water. And I asked why. They also drink bottled water. They don't fetch water straight from the tap and drink. So I asked my brother why. I said, chemicals and so many other things. So we take bottled water. So what are they talking about? It's all over. Because we are all exploiting what is in the ground. And it's not only Ghana. Though our practices and systems might be wrong. I'm not saying that...
Yeah, we understand.
Yes. But in other places, they also have other developmental and then industrialization that also affects their drinking water, and that is why they are also drinking bottled water. But for them, they understand, and probably they are told that this is the way we have to go, do it and do it right. Even if you do it right, it will still affect the water, though it might not affect the color of the water, but they are using chemicals and other things.
Of course.
You see, and so we should rather come collectively and tackle issues that affect us, but not to go on air and disrupt a whole system, blocking roads, not allowing people to go to hospital, and then you say you should all come and join the demonstration. So if I'm sick, how do I join the demonstration? I have to be fit before I can join. These are some of the things, and that is why it is very, very important. Because even back in school, look at how our students behave. Someone tells you that my father has money, he can buy me this and that and that. The other person thinks that you are insulting him in a way because he has lost both parents, and so he had to stab you. So if we have given much observation and training to our students, would they behave this way? And so I think the restructuring of guidance and counseling too is very, very important. As counselors in the schools, we have to observe our students and we have to engage them often, trying to talk to them, telling them that these utterances and other things don't augur well. Don't tell your friend this, don't do this, don't do that. And it's going to work. You see, and even with the peers themselves, you have to train some of them to watch out for these things. So if they know that this person is a threat or something, they report to the counselor or the senior housemaster so that they call the person and see how best he can be helped, so that emotionally he would not hurt other people. And for me, I think you mentioned that you look at a normal person standing on a political platform, saying things that are not palatable, are not very good. But what I think is that all those people might also have some mental problem by something that we don't check.
It's true.
So we think that it is normal for anybody to talk that way. Because you see people ranting on radio, and I ask myself, are they normal? Because if you are normal human being, you wouldn't do that. And so we should check all these things. If somebody is behaving abnormally or is behaving differently from ordinary, then the person has a problem.
I remember a few years ago, I was a reporter here, Class FM, and I was fortunate to be at the Ashama police station, where they got a tip off that the Okada guys within Ashama were going to have some demonstrations sort of, and so I joined the commander there, went to the site, and then they decided to go to the regional, the divisional command office around the market, behind the market, and I followed up. So I happened to enter the office. I think the divisional commander then is deceased. He was transferred, and I think he died. Mr. Nati, I'm telling you, we were told nobody to film. We're warned that none of us in the room should film what was going on. But I stood somewhere on my camera and I captured. If you go on Facebook, that's the only video you have about the Shaman incident that occurred. That's my video. It's there. Go there, you Google Okada riders clash with Ashaman police. You watch that video there. That was the day I understood what war is. Because what happened that day, if that should spread across this country, I don't think we can survive. So when I hear people say, it's very interesting. I mean, I think they don't understand what they are talking about. And one thing that is also important for all of us to know, that we have a lot of enemies within us as a country. Some of them are foreigners. They are not even not Ghanaians. You go to Asham, I'm telling you, over 70%, and I'm saying, listen to me, over 70% of the people using the Okada or riding the Okada are not Ghanaians. They are not Ghanaians, I'm telling you. Over 70% of the people riding Okada in Ashama, they are not Ghanaians.
Okay.
And so you have these people in Ghana. They are only waiting for you to misbehave for them to pounce, and you think it's Ghanaians who are doing the confusion. But these are foreigners who will be within us, who may be doing these things. And so we have to be very careful. You can go for them on demonstrations. You are on the street. You have your reason for going on demonstrations. If you have one bad nut, throw a stone at somebody's shop, break the glass, and the people start looting. That will be the beginning of the lootings. Yes. It was caused by somebody who didn't understand what you were doing, but just joined the demonstration and trying to create confusions. And so getting into the elections, we have to be conscious of all this, and that we have enemies within us that are waiting for this country to crash. We are concerned about the education of our children, who are the future of this country. And so if we are causing all these challenges and problems, we must understand that education is also there. We are training children who are going to become responsible citizens in this country. When we disrupt education in this country, what's going to be the future? We're going to have a lot of these girls become what they call teenagers, getting pregnant. You're going to have these young guys go on the street robbing you. Some will come to your house and open your door and sleep with your wife right in your presence, because you've created a situation for them. We have had people wear military uniforms who are not in the military. You have people who may wear certain uniforms and will come to your house and you think they are military, but they are people who have just organized themselves to come and rob you. So we have to be very careful about the stability and the peace we have in this country and guard it, and not think that it's about somebody wanting to become a president or somebody wanting to become an MP. But then we should consider that these are young children that we are also bringing up, and that the behavior and whatever we do, they are imitating, they are learning it. Are we building a society where children can stand tomorrow and think that for you to be seen as a powerful person, you need to insult people, you need to be harsh, you need to be abusive? Is that what we are trying to teach our children? Mr. Nati?
It's so serious. And like we are saying, for me, if you talk about politics in Ghana, it is whether we like it or not, it is either NDC, MPP. There are other ones, but for me, they are not that much relevant. We need to talk to these two big political parties. If you are in opposition, you don't need to insult whoever is in power before people get to know that this is what you are capable of doing if you are given power. And trust me, nobody is going to maintain power throughout the period. It will not happen. Just tell the people what you can do, what has not been done right, and if you think that given the opportunity, you could do this in reality. If you're also already in power and you think that you have to talk to the people, let the people know that this is what I have done, this is what I have done, and I will do this in addition, because giving me this number of years, I've been able to do A, B, C, D. If you add this number of 2, 3 to it, I will do this for you. And allow the people to make judgment into what you are saying.
Okay.
Rather than going on stage and insulting people. And trust me, Auntie is saying that if you go to the outside world, they seem to be more disciplined. And you see, we are deceiving ourselves here back in Africa, especially Ghana, thinking that, oh, our culture is so unique, so our culture is so disciplined. Go there, they are far, far disciplined as compared to. And unfortunately, these are big men, are people who go there and see what goes on. And Auntie will be truthful to tell us that, look, I went there and everybody who sat in a bus will say thank you before the person got off the bus. It is not like that over there. They take thanks to do this. Here, everything we do is about competition, and it begins from our schools. This person is first, this person is second, third, so everything about us is about competition. Who comes out first? Who does this first? And that is why we have come this far. Our education, like I said, seems to be too much examination oriented. And because of that, when even the students who are found in a classroom do not think about the things they are taught beyond the classroom, but they think about it within the classroom, and then for the sake of examination. So once you're done, you're done. And so we have to come to a point where there are countries where examinations even are not written. You be in school, you don't write exams. But those countries have become better than we are today. Our politicians to understand that it has taken, look at, from 1957 up to this day. Look at even the things we have been able to do. We needed to do more than we have done, but maybe because of one or two things. And look at, we are laying the foundations for the destruction of some of these things. But the things we see in public, the insults here and there. So we'll plead with, our leaders out there. Why is it that children will have elections in school, there will be no insults? Then when they grow rather, then there will be insults. It means that some of these, the things are within the adult world. And we have to, if you are not very careful, it will transcend into the children's world. And so in no time, within the schools to these things, I listened to one child's manifesto recently on Facebook, and he said, if she was voted for, she's going to bring Paolo Ancelotti to come and visit their school. It was so full of fun. But if you are not very careful, in the next few years to come, won't see these things. So I don't know how we have to go about it. We should come to a point where we will learn to tolerate people's views, and we ourselves should mind our words. You see, my father, before he died, told me something, that there are certain things you don't joke with, and one of them is words. See, he's told me that if you throw words and they get to their destination, it is difficult to retrieve it. You can't even retrieve it. There are certain things, if I tell you, you may say I'm forgiving him, but within you, you know that I hurt you a lot. And these are the things, these are the kind of words we are throwing now without thinking about the lives of our children. We are looking at power as if it is something. We will die leaving this power. We should ask ourselves, even the Nkrumahs and the JB, where are they? Is that how they handle the situation? Is that how they brought this country? Please, our children are in school. We want them to be in school. We want them to grow to a point where they will get this country to become better than we have today. And trust me, given the opportunity in the next probably 10, 15, 20, 30 years to come, these children we are nurturing will get this country to become better than what we are seeing today. So why are we orchestrating what things that warrant the dying of these children? We should be mindful. If you say anything that warrants that a war is staged in a country, it means you are killing these children. Our politicians should understand this thing and come to a point where they should speak to our conscience. This is what I can do. This is what I've been able to do. Giving me the mandate, I will do more than this person has done, so that at least we enjoy the peace we have. And let me come to this issue of galamsey. Yes, Auntie was saying that over there they drink bottled water. It is true. But if you look at where we are as Ghana, we haven't come that far. A bottle water today in Ghana sells around 70, the 1.5 liter. It's about 70, 8 cities. How many can afford that? At least let us maintain the little we have today. When the day comes and we think we can migrate to that level, we will get there. But for now, we can't.
All right, thank you very much. So that's Mr. Solomon Natite. I'm here with Madam Gifty Mensah and Mr. Solomon Natite, and we are discussing peace and stability and its effect on education. And we get into the elections. We've heard things said on stages, and we think that they are not right because we want the children to continue being in school. You can call us now. We have just a few minutes to leave the studio. You can call us on 0302 20 80 80, 0302 20 80 80. Please, this is not politics. We are only concerned about the lives of the children in school. We are not doing NDC. We are not doing NPP here. We refer to them because we need to talk about it. So if you call, please just focus your whatever you want to say on education, how important, or you can advise. But we don't want you to come and insult anybody or whatever. That's not what we're doing here. Thank you very much. 0302 20 80 80, 0302 20 80 80. Call us and tell us what you think about what we are discussing. Madam Gifty Mensah, you are okay. There's someone on the line. Let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Can you please reduce the volume on the radio set for me? Thank you.
Is it okay?
Yes, please, sir. You can. Please, your name.
My name is Victor, calling from Ango Haircut, Ashaman.
Great, Mr. Victor. Talk to us, brother Victor.
The failure of our system begins from our educational system and the religious system.
Okay.
If we can collapse this, our education system, and started doing talented education from the scratch, we will get there one day.
Okay.
We shouldn't target our age. We should target the younger ones and do everything together.
Okay.
And start as fresh.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victor. Victor thinks that we should start afresh with our children and then create a whole generation of students or children who may not do some of the things we are seeing. We have someone on the line as well. All right. Thank you very much. So, Madam Nati, you were. There's another caller. Let's pick this one. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Kindly, please, if you want to call us, we humbly ask that you reduce the volume on your radio set so we can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Thank you. It's okay now.
All right. Yeah, that is good.
Yeah,
good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm Daniel calling from Ashama.
Daniel from Ashama. Talk to us. Daniel.
I'm a teacher in a private school.
I think you should still reduce, or you can move away from your phone if you can.
All right,
from your radio.
Let me do that. I think now it's okay.
It's okay now, sir. Please.
Yes. I'm really touched by your discussion.
All right, thank you.
You know, one of the areas that is not bringing peace at all in the life of the parents is when head teachers in the secondary school, put a certain amount of money that are charged. And in fact, back in our homes, the speculations that are being heard is worrying all parents, especially the poor ones. By saying that these days, if you do secondary school is free, but before you go, you must organize about 5,000, 8,000 before. What is it for? And you will never comprehend the whole thing. Once government says the whole thing is free, as you are saying this morning, but you go there, these head teachers and headmistresses are selling what government puts down for free for students, especially the poor ones. But who should talk about it? I think what you are saying this morning should go countrywide onto news everywhere so that everybody, especially the head teachers in secondary school, should know that if they dare this year doing those things, they should be held responsible or even be arrested. Because it's going on right now. That is why many parents are afraid. When you go to everywhere, make your personal investigation, you see, they say, hey, where am I going to organize this 8,000, 7,000, 5,000 before my children will go to school? Some of the children are twins. They are moving together. Where are going to organize this kind of 10,000? So please, hammer more in these areas for the head teachers to know that they are causing troubles for parents. This can escalate war because they are suffering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daniel from Ashama. God bless you for your contributions. I think Madam Gifted made mention of what he's saying this morning about the fact that headmasters and headmistresses who are going to get children should also make sure that it's free, right? Okay, we have picking our last call. Time is up. Good morning.
Morning, bro.
Yeah, good morning. Please, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing well, sir. This is Michael from Kotobabi.
Mike here from Kotobabi. Talk to her. Please, can you just move away from your radio or reduce the volume?
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. All right.
You were trying to give us some. I have to check a placement for our walls, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I would like for you to go through that one again for me because I didn't really listen to you very well.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Daniel, I think you can leave your number. Might have. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So I think I'll go over it. Our time is up. So, what you do is that you have to go to the website of CSSPS. That is the computer system that places people. All right. So that is a computerized school selection system and placement system. So the first thing you do, go to that. That's the www.csSPS.gov.gh. Okay. You've gotten that. www.csSPS.gov.gh, and then you enter the 10 digits of your ward index number. Then you end it by 24. So if it is
Okay.
if it is 1 2 3 4, you end it. You write 1 2 3 4 2 4. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And then you click submit, and then the
Okay.
placement result will be displayed.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you too. All right. So, Madam Gifty, your last words as we yeah.
Growth mindset and character education should be very much adhered to in all our schools. You see, if you give the child career counseling and the person is informed and knows that this is what I want to do, these are the prospects, these are the progression, the person becomes focused.
Okay.
You do everything and he wouldn't mind. But you see, formerly our education system was not like that. So people go in to do programs and subjects that they don't like.
Okay.
So they want to cause commotion and do. But if the person knows that this is what I want, he's given enough career orientation to know that this is what I want to do. He builds his career goals, develops his action plan. He will never move away from that.
Wow.
So I think guidance and counseling in the schools should be very, very, very crucial, and we shouldn't play with that. Starting from the infancy,
Okay.
building the child's portfolio. If the child is so clever, you jump the child because you don't waste his time. You see, so you go to schools and see that children who are gifted and very good do not concentrate in class because it looks as if what you are teaching they already know. So they will be rather causing commotion. We should look out for all these things and support our children. If they are focused and they know what they want to do in future, no war, nothing will disrupt what the person is doing.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Solomon Atete.
Yes, let me see that. When you get to the senior high schools,
Yeah.
I think the system is still leaving space for the head teachers and then the head mistresses to exploit the system. I think that, you see, when the children are going afresh, they are asked to buy washing powder, padlock, what, and those things. By the time you finish, that is how you run into those 5,000 and those things. I am pleading, if government can still look at it from that, these things should be.
But I think
supplied
government has done well by making sure that all the items that you send to school are the same for
Are
every
the same.
school.
Trust me, they will
Yes.
soon, they will soon start, and you realize that what school A is taking is different from what school B is taking. And they will tell you that this one is a very big school. Some of these things, I think the system needs to be checked so that it doesn't look as if government effort on this free senior high school thing is becoming null and void. So we have to take a step so that people, in fact, we will come to a point where there will be community day schools, a lot of them, where somebody's child can eat the leftover banku yesterday and walk from the house to enter the classroom, go and learn.
Maybe we should encourage more of community day schools.
Yes, we have to do that. If we want free senior high school, then that is so that people will not try. Look, if you go to the Santor Katamanzo enclaves, we don't have any senior high school over there. And so if you are a day student, it means from there you have to go to Tema. And the transportation, you see, some of these things will put pressure on parents. They think that it is government that is doing this or that. But if the school is within the community where the child can wake up in the morning, take part of yesterday's leftover banku and get to the classroom, go and study and come back, all these sort of things will go down. So I'm still pleading with government that we need more of the community day schools so that at least people can walk from their homes directly to enter into the classrooms and then do whatever. And Auntie's issue, we need a lot more of the guidance and counseling today. So if you go to the district at the basic level, the whole district, you are probably one sitting in the office, and they don't even get to the schools. And you see, I don't blame them. If they have to go to the schools, where are they going? So at least we should come to a point where every school or 3 schools within a setup will be giving one guidance and counseling teacher. That one we can fuse them together, be it private or government. At least 3 of them, they have one, 3 they have one. So that your career guidance, look, when the children are making choices for courses and schools, you ask them what they want to do and they don't know. Parents come and they tell the teachers, when it has to do with your child's tomorrow. Me, I have said it. If my child applies to any government university and the course giving is not good, I would prefer going to pay at the private university for my child to do exactly what the child wants to do. Career guidance in our country is a bit serious, and we have to look at it.
All right. So thank you very much for doing the listening. It has been the Transformation Agenda Series on Education, sponsored by the Ministry of Education. I've been here with Madam Gifty Mensah, who's a National Coordinator for Guidance and Counseling, Career Counseling, Ghana TVET Service, Mr. Solomon Natete, who's a lecturer at the Western University and also lectures at the Center for Teacher Development Ghana. Ghana na yewo ai. Woman yentwe yenka say ye. Yemo from man or the ochina one wo be paying for say yes say o man Ghana him fan wo boko. It's important nye power painti ebema confusion about man ma mema basa basa ya about man no wa mama former wa brabo wa ye basa. Awo enyin atsena Ghana na asomdwe wo Ghana na etume nyina akọ school ewie na enye sika na eti ufie ma abofama na orinyi no ono so mfa tete na efe no nso nya asomdwe no nso mfa nyin no nso mfa nya bibi wo wiase nti awo men sen enya wo ze ewie ne men sen na ye mbofama no wa brabo nye basa ye de wase ye be share next week. Bye bye.
Yeah.